We are starting the next chapter, chapter number 16, that is accounting for bill of exchange. You have already learned the meaning of bill of exchange, that is we have two different types of bills, bills receivable and bills payable. So the meaning you have learned already. Now we will discuss what are the journal entries to be written when there is a bill of exchange. Okay, so first of all we will just discuss what is the meaning of bill of exchange. So I'll just explain with an example so that you can easily understand. A Limited sold goods to Rahul for rupees 50,000, and we have two options, either we can sell on cash basis or we can sell on credit basis. Suppose A Limited, that is our firm, sold on credit basis. This is the transaction happened. Now since Rahul is not making the payment now, that means we are selling on credit, Rahul will not make the payment right now, so Rahul is termed as our debtor from whom we have to receive the amount. Now in this case, since he is not giving us the money right now, we will draw, that means we will make a bill or we will draw a bill. It is called drawing a bill. Drawing means we will write a bill, that is A Limited will draw a bill in favor of Rahul, that is the debtor, because this is a promise that Rahul will make the payment on a specified date. So we are drawing a bill, and one who draws the bill is to be termed as drawer. Okay, and on whom we are drawing the bill, that is Rahul, will be termed as drawee. On whom we are drawing the bill or who is supposed to make the payment, that person is termed as drawee of the bill. So the bill which is drawn by the drawer should be accepted by the drawee. Rahul should accept this. Then only this will become a legal document. So we know that bill of exchange, basically it is a written document which contains an unconditional order to whom? To the drawee. What he should do? He should make the payment on a specified date as mentioned in the bill. So the date will be mentioned in the bill. Similarly, the amount also will be mentioned here. The amount is 50,000. Understood? So what is the meaning of bill of exchange? What you can write is, bill of exchange is a written document or it is an instrument in writing which contains an unconditional order to pay a specified amount of money to the person whose name is mentioned in the bill or to the bearer of the instrument. Bearer of the instrument means one who is holding the instrument. Here one who holds the instrument here is drawer. But it need not be always the drawer. Suppose in that bill of exchange, it is mentioned Rahul should make the payment. A Limited is the drawer, that we know, and Rahul is the drawee. And it is instructed in the bill that Rahul should make the payment to an external party, like we'll take B Limited. Or we'll take the name of a person, that is Ram. Okay, Rahul should make the payment to Ram. In this example, Ram will be termed as payee. So this is drawer, A Limited is drawer, Rahul is drawee, and the person to whom Rahul should make the payment is Ram. He is termed as the payee. Understood? So we have three parties involved in a bill of exchange. This person is giving an unconditional order to the drawee. This person means the person who makes the bill or who draws the bill, or we can say who signs the bill. Okay, the person who draws and signs the bill or the maker of the bill is termed as drawer. Then all these terms you should be familiar with. Learn these terms very carefully. It's there in the textbook also, you can go through that. So drawer means the person who signs or draws or makes the bill, and he is giving an unconditional order to the drawee to pay a specified amount of money on a specified date to payee. To the payee means it can be drawer. Sometimes Rahul will be instructed to make the payment to drawer itself. So in certain cases payee and drawer will be one and the same. In certain other cases, you can mention in the bill that Rahul should make the payment to an external party, to a third party whose name will be mentioned clearly, and that person is to be termed as payee. Sometimes drawer and payee will be one and the same. I hope you understood all these three terms from this example. Okay, so this is what you have to learn first. What is the meaning of bill of exchange, and along with that we discuss the features also. Features and meaning both are same. Features you can write the same. It's a written document instructing, it's giving an unconditional order to the drawee. And who is drawing the bill? The drawer is drawing the bill, or who draws and signs the bill is called drawer. All these you can write as features. Then there will be a specified date, specified amount, and it should be accepted by the drawee to make it a legal document. So this is the meaning. Features also you can write the same points. Okay. This point is also important, that is, it should be accepted by the drawee to make it a legal document. The next term what you need to learn is types of bill. One is trade bill, second is accommodation bill. Okay, trade bill means, that is what we discussed just now. When there is a credit transaction, a bill which is drawn and accepted between the drawer and drawee, that is called as trade bill. That means it is for a trade transaction. Okay, bill which is drawn and accepted for a trade transaction is known as trade bill. The second one we will discuss, accommodation bill. We will take an example first, then we will go to the meaning. Sohan is in need of money, so he is going to his friend to ask for money. His friend is Sam. Okay, so Sohan is asking to give some money. He is asking Sam to give him some money, but right now Sam is not in a position to give his friend that amount he asked. Suppose Sohan is asking rupees 10,000. Sam is not in a position to give this 10,000 to Sohan. Now they mutually agree upon something, like Sohan is going to draw a bill upon Sam. So now Sohan will be termed as the drawer. One who draws or signs or makes the bill is termed as drawer. So now Sam is his drawee. Okay. So Sohan is drawing a bill upon Sam. But is it regarding a credit transaction that has taken place? No. There is no transaction actually between Sohan and Sam. This is just for mutual help. This person named Sohan, he needs money of 10,000. So this is actually for helping Sohan. This is like a mutual help. So transactions or a bill which is drawn and accepted for mutual help is known as accommodation bill. Okay, drawn and accepted for mutual help. The other one for trade transaction, that is trade bill. Now we'll continue this example. So now Sohan has drawn a bill of rupees 10,000 on Sam. But is Sohan getting amount of 10,000 from Sam? No, he is not having any amount with him. Okay, but he accepted this bill. Sam accepted this bill. Okay, now Sohan is having a bill with him. The person who draws the bill, that means if we are selling the goods, we'll be drawing or we'll be making the bill and we'll be holding it. So Sohan is having that bill with him, which he can take to the bank, and what he can do is discount the bill. What is bill discounting? I hope you remember the term bill discounting. What Sohan can do now is, Sohan can give this bill to the bank. Okay, Sohan is giving that bill to the bank. In return, bank will give Sohan that amount of rupees 10,000. But he'll not be getting entire 10,000. Some amount will be deducted as discounting charges. Some amount will be deducted as discounting charges by the bank. Suppose for rupees 200 or 300, that depends on the rate of interest. So some amount bank will deduct as discounting charges, rest will be given to Sohan. Anyway, Sohan is getting the amount. How? By discounting the bill. So on the date of maturity, we know that a date will be mentioned in the bill of exchange, and on the due date, Sam will have to make the payment to Sohan, isn't it? That is just like a credit transaction. The debtor will have to make the payment. But here this is not a credit transaction. Sam is not our debtor, but in the bill, he is just like a debtor. He has agreed that he will make the payment on that specified date or on the date of maturity. Date of maturity means on the date on which he has to make the payment. So, suppose the date of maturity is fixed as December 20th. Okay, December 20th, Sam should make Sohan the payment of rupees 10,000. But since this is not a credit transaction, what is going to happen is, before this date of maturity, before December 20th, Sohan will give Sam that amount of rupees 10,000, which in turn Sam will give back to Sohan. Understood? Since Sam is not having any liability, actually, this is just for helping Sohan. So this is a bill drawn and accepted just for mutual help. Since Sohan was in need of 10,000, Sam agreed that he will accept the bill. But actually, he is not in a position to make the payment. So Sam discounted the bill with the bank. Sam got the amount. Now, before the date of maturity, Sohan will give Sam this amount of 10,000. Why he is giving? Then only Sam could make the payment. Understood? Because in that bill, Sam is termed as the drawee or the debtor who should make the payment. So Sohan in turn is helping Sam actually. Sohan will give this 10,000 to Sam. Sam will make the payment directly to Sohan. The same amount he will give it back. So it is a mutual help. So the bill which is drawn and accepted for mutual help is known as accommodation bill. Okay, so these are the two types of bill. Next, what we are going to discuss is promissory note. We'll take the same example, the first example that we discussed, that is A Limited selling goods on credit to Rahul for rupees 50,000. Promissory note and bill of exchange both are similar. There are slight changes or slight differences between these two. We will see the difference. We took the same example. In the previous case, that means when we discussed bill of exchange, A Limited was the drawer and Rahul was drawee, and there was an external party to whom we had to make the payment. That means Rahul had to make the payment to Ram, and Ram was termed as the pay. So three parties were involved in bill of exchange. Whereas in promissory note, only two parties will be involved. And here the person who draws the bill, okay, the person who draws the bill or who promises to pay the amount is termed as promisor. This is promissory note. Again, it is a written document just like bill of exchange, which is having an unconditional order or which is accepted by the person who promises to pay a specified amount on a specified date to this payee. Here payee is A Limited. Understood? So we have two parties involved in promissory note. One is promisor and the other one is payee. And who is the promisor here? Here A Limited is not drawing a bill. He is not the drawer. Okay? He is not drawing a bill. The debtor Rahul himself promises that he will make the payment to the payee on a specified date, and the amount also will be specified in the document. Understood? So the person who promises to pay is called as promisor. There is no person called drawer here. Nobody, actually this person will be termed as drawer also. He is the person who is drawing the bill or who is promising to make the payment. So we have only two parties, the promisor, one who promises to pay, and to whom they have to make the payment is termed as the payee. And here the payee's name is A Limited. So only two parties, that is one difference. The other difference is it need not be accepted by drawee. Okay, here the drawee also means it's the same. Rahul has to make the payment, and it need not be accepted by drawee because Rahul himself promises to make the payment. He is taking the initiative. So there is nothing like acceptance by drawee. It need not be accepted by drawee, whereas a bill of exchange must be accepted by the drawee to make it a legal document. Understood? So these are the point of differences between promissory note and bill of exchange. The main point of difference, you can go through other differences which is given in your textbook. Just read it, understand that. Okay, you just learned the meaning of bill of exchange, promissory note, and the types of bills. Okay, you should be clear with all these terms. Don't get confused between drawer, drawee, promisor, payee and all. You should be clear. That's why I have explained with example. Okay, then we'll discuss journal entries. You can give the heading after this promissory note. You give the heading accounting of bill of exchange or promissory note. Okay, accounting treatment is what we are going to discuss. Accounting of bill of exchange or promissory note. Now we know that the meaning of bill of exchange and promissory note is almost the same. And for bill of exchange, we have two bills like bills receivable and bills payable. The accounting treatment or the journal entries for bill of exchange and promissory note, it is the same. You don't have to study separate journal entries. It's the same for both bill of exchange and promissory note. Now bill of exchange, we have two types, bills receivable and bills payable. For A Limited, in that example, for A Limited, it is bills receivable because we have to get the amount. We are the firm. Whereas for Rahul, he is the debtor. He has to make the payment. So for him, it is bills payable. So the same will be termed as bills receivable for drawer and bills payable for drawee. Okay. Now you give the heading entries in the books of drawer. Okay, drawer here is A Limited. So entries in the books of drawer. You can easily learn the entries because journal chapter we have already learned. When A Limited is selling goods to Rahul, what will be the journal entry? That you can answer. What will be the journal entry first in their books? That is in the books of drawer. What will they write first? They will write debtor's name, that is Rahul, or now since it is specimen entry, we will just write debtor, or the customer's name you have to write, that is Rahul's name. debtor to sales account, isn't it? Since it is not cash sale, we'll write debtor's name and write debtor's account debtor to sales account. So that is the common entry or simple entry. Then if there is GST, we have to charge output GST since it is sales. When you sell something, it is output GST you have to charge. If it is within the state, you charge both output CGST and SGST, or outside the state you will charge output IGST. You will not write all three together, that you also know. Either these two or output IGST only. Okay. So this is what we have to record first in the books of drawer. That means when A Limited sells goods. Then next what will happen? Are we getting amount from Rahul? No. Instead of that, what are we getting? We are getting, or we are drawing a bill, and that is bills receivable for us, isn't it? In our books it will be recorded as bills receivable. So it is bills receivable debtor. We can't write cash debtor because we are not getting any amount now. So bills receivable debtor to, from whom we are getting this? From Rahul, that is to debtor's account. Understood? Bills receivable account debtor to debtor's account. Now on the date of maturity or on the due date, what will happen? Rahul will give us the amount. That time what will be the journal entry? It will be cash or bank account debtor to. Will you write Rahul's name? I mean debtor's name will you write? No, debtor already you closed. See, debtor here we debited first, isn't it? In the first journal entry. Then we credited him. That means debtor's account got cancelled already. Now again you don't have to write here debtor's name. What you have to write is, what you have to cancel now is this bills receivable. Now we are getting the amount, so bills receivable will get cancelled. So when we get the amount, this is the entry, that is cash or bank account debtor to bills receivable. These are the three journal entries which will be written in the books of drawer. Question will be asked to write journal entries both in the books of drawer and in the books of drawee. So these three entries will come in the books of drawer. That means when he sell goods, then when he gets the receivable, I mean bill, and when he gets the amount. Understood? So this is what we have to learn under journal entries in the books of drawer. What you have to write in drawee's books we will discuss in the next video. Okay.